Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Celtic have taken one step closer to a potential treble. We have booked our place at Hampden Park in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup following an impressive victory over the in-form Hibs this afternoon. Routine for Celtic, and against a difficult opposition we get the job done. So sit back, relax, let's do a match preview which, as I said, takes us that one step closer to that treble that last year just eluded us. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated if you could do that. What a lovely day at Celtic Park this afternoon. It's nice to see that the spring is upon us and some of the better weather games might be here soon. I say that, it'll probably snow next week, knowing it around here. It's nice though. A nice atmosphere in Celtic Park today. We obviously seen the 7,000 Hibs fans, which, controversial opinion, think could have been louder this afternoon. I didn't think they were really all that impressive in their high numbers. Nonetheless, Celtic get the job done. A 2-0 win that sends us through to the semi-finals, and a very tough game, and not just a tough game to watch at times. And I don't think that was down to Celtic, and I feel like I've just started this video slating Hibs, and listen, hear me out, Hibs fans who are here to come and see what I'm saying about it. I thought Hibs made it quite a painful game to watch today, and I understand why, right? I get it. You want to give yourself the best chance of going through to the next round of the Cup. You're coming to Celtic Park, where most teams come to get fed to the slaughter. You want to make the game as difficult as possible. You want to grind down Celtic, and you want to just make it a bit of a slug for us. But in their form and how good they've been playing, and especially how good they played at Easter Road a couple of weeks ago, I thought we would see not so much a copy and paste job of what happened at Easter Road, but I thought we'd see the same Hibs. I thought we'd see a Hibs that had the homework there already done. The example of how to play against Celtic and how to beat Celtic, literally just fresh off the fucking the press. And I thought we'd see that intense, attacking, very pace-filled Hibs side trying to be aggressive with Celtic. And instead, what we got was a Hibs that came in, sat really deep, very astute defensively, mostly played with a back five and didn't really attack the game at all. And once again, I fully understand why they done it. I'm not coming out here and slaughtering them for it for the sake of it. It's not in their best interest to come to Celtic Park, be a very wide, expansive a team, leaving themselves high up the park and prone to Celtic's counter-attack. Of course I'm not going to come in Celtic Park and play like that, but it made it a very difficult game to watch at times today is what I'm saying. I don't think it was a classic. I think as a neutral, it would have probably been one that you turned off by half-time, to be quite honest with you. But what matters from a Celtic point of view and a Celtic perspective is that we managed the game very, very well. We were patient in the game. And when we realised early on that just throwing everything at them probably wasn't going to work, we adjusted. The in-game management I thought was very good today. In fact, there was a part of the game where I was like, 70 minutes in, I was like, Rodgers still hasn't made any changes, but he knows better than me, and that's why we leave with a clean sheet, 2 goals, and winning the game and through to the semi-finals. So I thought the management of the game itself, considering how Hibs set up and came to Celtic Park, was done very well. Celtic should have scored more than 2 today. There was a couple of sitters that we missed in there. You know the ones I'm talking about. Dyson, Yang should have really made it 3, 4, 5-0 maybe in the game. We didn't, so we have those chances coming back to bite us a bit, but Hibs offered nothing. Defensively, we done everything we had to do. Schmeichel made his one save in the game that he had to make, but we didn't let them in. And when they tried to come forward, in the very rare moments in the game it felt like they got forward, we had it handled quickly. So from a Celtic perspective, no complaints to take away from today's game. The strongest side went out and got the job done. And that's that. I feel like I could wrap up the video there, to be honest. Let's talk about the first half. Let's talk about what we've seen from Celtic. As I said, I thought that Celtic changed their approach to the game. It was very evident they changed their approach to the game quite earlier on. The first 20 minutes, I thought that Celtic looked great. Very, very fast. Very on top of Hibs. Just pacing the game. And then I think from the 20th minute onwards, we kind of slowed it down a wee bit when we realised the way that Hibs were playing. We had to break them down. We had to be maybe a bit more precise in what we were doing. And that was one of the things that I thought was actually missing from Celtic's performance today, was precision from the first and second half. There seemed to be a couple of players that you'd think were on the slash last night, Saturday night out for a couple of these boys. Some of the accuracy in the passing today, holy. But 2 main culprits of it I thought were in the middle. I thought maybe the 2 weakest players in the park for Celtic today, might be controversial this, I don't know, but I think Rio Hatate and Callum McGregor had a pretty sloppy game in the middle of the park, and they weren't the only ones who were caught out for it. think that we've seen Alistair Johnson a couple of times misplaced passes, a couple of our crosses just weren't great. Guess that's a wee bit different, but I thought we were a wee bit, the precision was maybe off, but we changed the way that we kind of started to try and dissect Hibs more than go for the cutthroat first 20 minutes that we were looking for. We changed that very quickly, and I know people get a wee bit tedious with that, and some people just don't have the patience for that form of football. Sometimes it's the sort of football that Rodgers was getting lambasted for when he first returned to the club, but we had to do it. We had to wear Hibs out mentally to really get that breakthrough, and we found it 5 minutes before the half. Yes, it was through a rebound, but that's what I mean. You know, the Hibs keeper was having a cracking game. Defensively, I said it earlier in the video, they were very, very astute. We needed that wee bit of luck just to unlock the game, I thought, and Maeda was in the right place at the right time. He adds on another stat to his season, which has just been full of goals and assists. But we were deserving of the goal. We were really building towards it. We were creating chances. As I said, the Hibs keeper had to make a couple of decent saves. Hitate's shot, fantastic. Just great save. We were building towards it. We did deserve it. But it was really impressive to see Celtic change the route of what they were trying to do. And then finding the success that they got through it. So, yeah, we sealed off the first half, taking the lead. And I think from that point on, I had really no fear that Celtic were going to lose today's game or draw or whatever. 1-0 obviously isn't the scoreline you want to keep it at, but even right up until he does goal in the 92nd minute, I felt Celtic just didn't really look under any threat. The second half was more of the same, really. Celtic just in control of the game, dictating the tempo of play, and Hibs not really getting a proper grip in the game. They tried in the second half when they were chasing the game. I think we've seen Hibs trying to be a bit more attacking. They had a few balls that were in behind Celtic defenders, but ultimately were just too heavy or caught out by someone. Defensively, we were really good today, I must say. I must give a big shout out to all four of the defenders from a defensive point of view. I thought they were fantastic. Couldn't lay a glove on them, really, and then just it was reflected in the chances that Hibs made. In fact, if I go and look at the match stats just now, Hibs only had 23% of the ball, 3 shots compared to Celtic's 18, and to be honest, apart from the one shot that I remember Schmeichel saving in the first half, I can't remember the other 2 shots for the life of me. So it just goes to show you how good we were defensively today. As I said, as the game went on, Hibs tried to get into it, but we sealed things off. We got what we deserved. And a massive shout out to Adamida, who's kind of a man of the moment in this match reaction. I don't think there was any players who particularly stood out for me today. I thought everybody was just good enough. I don't think anybody had an exceptional game. If anything, I think Arne Engels was maybe one of the players I looked at today as maybe one of the better on the park. But Maeda was typically more quiet than he usually is. I think that's maybe down to the couple of sitters that he missed, just kind of bringing his game down a wee bit. Kuhn was fine, never done anything spectacular. Jota showing moments of brilliance as always, but one of his more quiet games, I think we could all agree there. Midfield I've already touched on. Defenders were great defensively. Schmeichel doing his job. But I think everybody was just good. There was no over-the-top exceptional performance critiques to give out today. But it's great, and I want to just say fantastic for he to come on in such little time today. You know, he wasn't brought on with half an hour to go. I don't even think he was brought on with 20 minutes to go. He was brought on with such little time to make an impact. He really needs a goal for his confidence, and he doesn't give up right to the final whistle. 92nd minute, he puts the ball in the back of the net. And that's huge for Adamida. Somebody who I will stand by and defend, even if it's blindly, until I can't no more. And I know that he's been on such heavy criticism, under so much heavy criticism this season, and the price tag plays a huge part in that. But I do truly believe that we have a top striker in there, whether you agree or not. I think you've just got to remain patient with it. You know, his first permanent year as a Celtic player, I think he's up to 14 or 15 goals now. Yeah, it's not the prolific return that we'd like, but to come on with such little time in the game and to make that impact, to get that goal, and I thought he was good. I thought you seen him really chasing down Hibs players, trying to apply the press, doing all the other things off the ball really well, to then find that goal as the game's coming to a close. I was really happy for him, I'm chuffed for him, and I hope that we see him score a few between now and the end of the season. Hopefully maybe next week as well against Rangers. I don't expect to see him start against Rangers, but I certainly think he's put his name in the ring for it with scoring that goal today. So huge for Adamida. You can't underestimate the power of a goal, what it does to a player's morale, their confidence, and after being kind of replaced in the last couple of weeks by a winger up front, that'll do him the world of good. Just a regular day at the office for Celtic. We keep winning. And as I said, and I hate just keep talking about the treble, but it is the story of our season now. The league is won. The League Cup is won. The only thing left for Celtic to pursue is that Scottish Cup. The treble should be the word that's on everybody's lips, whether we're in the final or not. Of course, we've got to take it a game at a time, and now the focus will go to that semi-final in terms of the Scottish Cup. got some league games to handle first. But in terms of the Scottish Cup, we've got to focus on the semi before we focus on the final. But that should be the aim of everybody at Celtic this season, to finish off with a treble that Rodgers missed out on last year. He's the king of trebles. You know, last year was the first time he's completed a full season at Celtic without winning a treble. So I want to see him get it this year. Yeah, today was fine. Great winning performance from Celtic as always. The manager has got these group of players just drilled into winning games of football. And even, I think the Hibs fans would maybe agree, the referee had quite a stinker of a performance today. I'm not going to get into it because I can't be bothered, but I think from both points of view, people should be unhappy with the referee's performance, especially Celtic. I thought it was some terrible decisions from the ref today. And one particularly, Maida, in the first half, here's a fucking hand to the face outside the box. He's gone in one-on-one nearly. He could have broke away to make it one-on-one. He's fucking slapped in the face and the referee gives nothing. But I thought it was a poor performance from the ref today. But listen, he didn't stop Celtic, and that's what I mean. This group of players, they just keep going and going, whether decisions go their way or not. So I bring on the semi-final, bring on Rangers next week, and things are looking good. They are looking mighty, mighty good. So if you've enjoyed, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. We'll be back on the channel tomorrow to talk about the game a little bit more in depth. But as for the instant reaction, that's all for today. Hail, hail, and I'll see you all next time.